Welcome to another PC Sportscards PSA reveal / $1,000 challenge review reveal. We got 7 cards back. If you don't know what the $1,000 challenge is, basically we are buying cards with a $1,000 budget to start and seeing what we could turn that into in the next year. We started the end of February, early March, and this is our second order that we got back. Today we're doing it a little bit differently. I have up the spreadsheet that we recorded all the prices that we paid. I also have a card ladder sales history tab open, and we're going to go through these cards. I'm going to show you what the review was when I initially did the review. I'm going to show you what the cards got, and I'm going to show you what I expect them to sell for. You can also scroll down a little bit and show you what some of the previous cards sold for. This is going to be a good one. Let me know what you guys think of it in the end. I have a Heart of the City Aaron Judge. I love this card. Has the New York skyline in it. Has Judge, who's the captain and the face of the Yankees. I think it goes for about $60 as a PSA 10. The first few were doing well over 100. Okay, we got a lot of fingerprints and marks on it to start, so let's get a good wipe down so we can get a real look at it. I got the Harper of this also last week, but had a really bad back corner. Have some more fingerprints. Have my fingerprint from right there. Otherwise, it looks very clean. Not seeing any problems on the back. Has some weird marks on the front, but I don't think they're anything. I think that's actually part of the card. This is one that I am going to most likely send in. I'm going to give it another look off camera, but I think I'm sending this one in. These are ones that you got to be pretty careful with in my mind. I think it's like 10 or 15 as a 9, so I'm going to be safe with it. Next up, first up, we have an Aaron Judge Heart of the City Refractor. As you see, it got a PSA 10. We paid $5 for this. When we first sent this in, it was getting about $100 as a PSA 10. They're down to about $60 to $70 right now. But still, $5 plus $18.50 for grading. Remember, we're consigning also. We get a 50 cent off per card discount with PC Sportscards. I'll end up netting, worst case scenario, $50. So 50 minus 24 means plus $25, give or take, for this Heart of the City Refractor. We definitely consider picking up more of these. I don't see that price going too far down. Maybe 40 to $50, but I think it's an easy card to evaluate. I'm very happy with grade number 1. We got an Ellie De La Cruz Bowman 2022 draft refractor, as the top loader says. This is not his first chrome, but I like the card, and I think he's a hot prospect, and I don't think there are a lot of these graded yet. So I think the goal here is to be the first one to have these later ones graded, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be a premium over the $4.33 I paid shipped, plus the $19 for grading. I think this will be a $40 or $50 card. Seeing something over here on the bottom of the back, but it's not major. Let's see if it looks better at this angle. I think that's just the card. Not seeing anything that's going to hold me back from grading this card. Okay, let's get it back into the card saver. Next up, we have Ellie De La Cruz Bowman Draft Refractor PSA 10. I think this is a pretty low pop card. I don't think a lot of people are grading it. It's not his first Bowman, but it is a refractor. This one was $4.50 all in. And let's see if any have sold. I actually don't know if any have sold yet. So I think this is cool to see how they're going to do. These are going to go up for auction very soon. Bowman Draft Ellie Refractor PSA. The Wave sold for $50. Best offer, so I think that's a bad comparison. Sapphire sold for $122. Yeah, there's none that's sold. So this is going to be the first one selling. I don't know if I'm going to make money or not on this, but I think it's a cool card. Again, I know I made a mistake buying it. I thought it was the first one. I didn't look closely. But I still got my 10, so we'll see how it does. So this next one, I got 2 Jordan Loves. I got a bunch of these. I think Jordan Love is going to be a hot name. I think he's going to be the starter up in Green Bay. So decided to pick up a couple. There was a note on one of these that there was an issue on the top. I think that issue is probably what I consider over-evaluation of the card. So we have a little swirly thing here. I don't know if you can see it on the camera. Right above the towel. So I think that's actually a major issue. So I don't know that I'm going to send this one in. I got a bunch of these, so I'm going to be relatively picky on them. I'm going to put this one on the side for now because of the squiggly mark, and see what the other ones look like. That's also something that I would consider sending it in anyway to see if it gets a 9 or a 10 and putting a note on that card in my notes on the spreadsheet to determine whether or not that is what caused the tough grade. So, got another one here. Give it a wipe. A little weird on that top edge, but that's normal with these hollow cards, and same thing on the bottom. It's just how they're cut. That is not a problem, I don't think. Let's look at the back. Some light scratching, but nothing that's indented, nothing that's bent, nothing that's really affecting the card. I'm sorry that the card comes off the screen every once in a while. It's sort of a catch-22 because I have to keep it far enough away. I have to zoom in enough where it's detailed for you, but I also have to pull it a little closer sometimes to look at them. So that one's going in. Next up, we got a bunch of... For the first few subs, we were at about a 66% send rate. With these, I'm going to be a little pickier because they're not really superstars, but I just think they're good cards to send in if we're going to get 10s on them. So we got another Jordan Love hollow. Centering is fine. Looks really nice on the front. Really, really nice on the front. Looks good on the back. Yeah, definitely looks good. This looks really sharp. Really happy with that one. So that's number 2. Next up, we have our Jordan Loves. I highlighted the ones that are coming back in this order so it'll be easy to find. We have 2 Jordan Loves, average price of $45. We also have a third one that is already on eBay. And guys, cha-ching! These are going pretty high. Let's see what the most recent sales are. We got 10s on both of them. If you remember, we see this top edge issue. That's not a big deal. I told you guys that wasn't going to be a big deal. That's common with these cards. That's not something they knock you for. That is not a flaw, which is what I told you in that review video. You'll see. You probably just saw it because I showed the review videos first. And I wasn't 100% sure, but now we're sure. 2020, Optic, Love, Hollow, PSA 10, 140 to 150 still. I think they were a little bit closer to 200 when we first did it. $40 on these. $45 plus, call it 20 for easy math. So $65 we're into them for. We'll probably end up getting 140 to 150 minus fees, so 120 to 130 out of them, plus $60 on each of these. So we're plus 50. Let's go low and say plus 50 on each of these, plus 25 on the Judge. So we're plus 125 right now. Say the Dela Cruz is going to break even, so 125. All right, so that is not a bad start. Plus 125 on this order. Could be a little bit more. Again, I think I'm going low. I think it's closer to 150 to 175. Now we have, this is the True Refract, the True Hollow. I got this with 5 other hollows for about $12 delivered, and the last Trask by itself went for 15 plus shipping. So sometimes if you can get lots, then include the guys you're looking for, you can get a better deal on the guys you're looking for. Couple little dimples on the front, nothing major. Top bottom centering's not great, but I think it's still good enough. This is one of those ones that's borderline. Pretty sure it's at least, I'm positive it's at least a 9. It has a shot at a 10 for sure also. This is one that I'm not sure what I'm doing with it yet. I may send it. I may send it to BGS to get a 9.5, considering I'm not in love with the centering and I'm not in love with those two dimples, but I don't think anything's a major problem. Sorry, the camera went out for a second there. I'm going to make another decision later on. Next up, Kyle Trask. Womp, womp, womp. PSA 9 on the hollow. Probably will get about $20 for this. I'm not going to spend the time looking it up. I'm going to get 15 to $20 for it. There are a number of dimples on it. You can see them even more in the slab. I must have missed those when I was reviewing it. It's probably why I got a 9, because there's multiples, and it's off center top to bottom. But still a nice copy. Don't regret sending it in, because you got to send some in sometimes and give on. All right, here we go. We got another 3 Trask variations. This was a purchase of all 3 at the same time. Got them all for $24 plus shipping, I think. So it was like $27 all in for 3 of them. I like buying quantity if I can, especially because even going 1 for 3 on these, if 1 gems, you see the mark, the print line going there, that's gonna hurt it. And it's got a notch on the back that's messed up. That's 1 down. 0 for 1. If one of these is worth grading, the whole thing's worth it. That looks much better on the front. This is more than borderline. Depends on the grader. If you get a bad grader, you can get a 9 on this card, but it should be a 10. So this one's going in. Even if I'm wrong and I only get 1 or 2 10s out of these, the 1 or 2 10s is going to pay for all the cards. Got another Trask here for those that are driving. It's got a relatively thick mark going through the back of it. See how that's like thicker? That's like that same thing that you see on the front of the Velocity cards. So that one is not worth grading. So 1 out of 3 is worth grading. I will say the one that I am grading is borderline. So I'm going to guess that seller evaluated all those cards and knew they weren't worth grading. A shot. Next up, we have the Kyle Trask SP variation, hollow variation, and again, womp, 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 another 9. This one I'm going to look up. This one might be okay still. I know the PSA 10s were going really strong on that, so let's give that one a shot real quick, see how much money we're going to lose. 2020 Optic Trask variation. 2021, that's why. Still selling for that same price. Let's see if there's any PSA 9s that sold. PSA 1010, PSA 9. $18.99. So I'm gonna lose almost all my money on both. Let's say I lose $40 on both the combined on these. So I'm probably close to plus 100 still. Right? Close to plus 100, maybe plus 85. Last but not least, we have a Ohtani continuity. This looks clean. These are relatively easy grades, so I'm hoping there's no issues. Not in love with the corners, but they're good enough. So, this is definitely going in. Last but not least, Ohtani continuity, PSA 10. Guys, this is a nice one. Again, paid $45 for it raw. Let's see what they're going. These were going about 200 to 250 when we first started doing this. 2018. Bowman, Sterling, continuity, Ohtani, PSA 10. Oh boy. $300 for 2 fixed price ones. I don't know about that, but auctions are going about $200. Take out the fees, $150. Say I get $175. Say $170 out of it. Paid $60 plus $100. So this order probably plus $200 to $250 on this order, plus the last one that already came back, where I'm probably going to make $50 to $75. I'm looking at already taking my $1,000 and turning it into $1,200 to $1,300. That's what you need to do. When I get this money back, I'm going to start buying more and more and more, and going to keep it rolling, keep the other ones selling. Really pumped about the results from this order. Hope you guys like this. Look forward to doing more videos. Let me know if you like me adding in the pricing and all that other stuff. We want to make these videos as valuable as possible for guys that are trying to do the same exact thing. Thanks so much for watching. Look forward to see you next week.